Hey, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we give you the information you need to make good decisions at the ballot box. So we got a good show today. We got a full panel tonight. Also, wanted to say good news about Bill. He is feeling better today. His stomach has finally calmed down and his fever is broken. So he's getting back to his normal old grumpy self. No, he's a cool guy. Uh, but hopefully he'll be lurking in the chat. So let's get this show going. Let's welcome all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma, with the Lauren Bacall dulcet tones. It is of Lloyd Mendenhall.
Lauren Bacall, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, she's got that deep voice.
She does have a sort of a deep, a deep, soft, mellow voice.
Right.
Not like me. Mine's more harsh, but yeah. So, how you doing, Art? Hello, everybody in the chat.
I'm doing pretty good. Stayed home today. Got a bunch done. Put out 3 videos, all shorts. Doing some experimentation, see how well the recommended times work versus some of the material that I've been putting out lately.
Yeah.
It seems Mary Burke, boy, you mention her name or comment on her, and all of a sudden your views just skyrocket. So
yeah. So yeah, it's been just beautiful fall weather here this weekend in Oklahoma. So I actually had to turn on the heater night before last, and I had it on, but I had it set low enough that it didn't really kick in. But got down into the 40s Friday night, so it was a little nippy Saturday morning. So
well, we got down in the upper 30s and a little bit of frost on my windshield or the back window of my car when I went to work. All right, let's get our other co-host all the way from the great Northeast. Let's welcome Charles Galuski. Welcome.
Hey, Art, Lloyd. Hey, folks in the chat.
Hey, Charles, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I have to call you on one thing though. You were such a chatterbox last night in Art's show. I just didn't think he was ever going to give James a chance to talk.
It's a great show last night.
Yep. It was a good show. Yeah, we missed having James on there. I like
so
to see him on there. Yeah.
Well, what I did different is he was about ready to chime in last week. And I shut it down because I didn't see him in the chat. So what I did is when I sent him the link, I said, make sure you pop in the chat so that I know that you're going to be on later. So that's what he did.
Have they gone through their time change maybe, and that's what threw him off?
No, they don't go on a time change.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because they're close enough to the equator.
It doesn't make any difference one way or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they were.
Let's say hello to the folks in the chat.
Yes.
We got Steve Knowles, and we got Michael, the cool cat, and we got Captain Joe America, USA Drone Flyer, and we got Ronnie. God bless America.
Yep.
And we got the Grumpy Vlogger. That'd be Lloyd. And we got Mudball, that'd be Don. Good to see you. Yeah. And Bill, Chin Dynasty. And that is.
I think they're over on my channel.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, excellent. And I appreciate the views, guys. Sorry. All weather, ragweed, all that stuff. Yeah, it's that time of year for me, so. I usually lose my voice about this time of the year, too, so you guys might be in luck.
Well, today we're going to be starting off with something that happened last week. Speaker of the House ousted by one person from Florida. So now the Republican Party is in shambles, and we're scrambling to find a replacement. And I think it's going to come down to two people: Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan, who's
Jim Jordan.
leader of the Freedom Caucus.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know. I kind of feel like Jim Jordan is probably the better of the two because Scalise is dealing with his cancer right now still.
oh yes,
And
yeah.
you know, so that's probably
And he's the one that got shot.
He's also the one that got shot. You know, he deserves.
Mhm.
You know, he deserves it, but he's still, you know, he's dealing with cancer, and you know that's where his focus needs to be. Although it's not supposed to be terribly bad, it's still. I know what it's like, what it does to a person dealing with Judy and her cancer twice, and so,
Right.
you know, but I think Jim Jordan is probably I either one of them would be good. We need somebody to get the Republican Party to help them pull their heads out of their asses so they can start working as a party instead of a bunch of,
Right.
you know, because this is purely personal, you know.
Right.
You know,
Uh,
granted, McCarthy did step back and not do some of the stuff he promised, but
Well, I mean, you know, he's got a 5-seat majority, and you got to deal with what you got. So he probably had to, you know, compromise. He probably knew it wasn't going to make a lot of people happy, and also Donald Trump chimed in on this whole thing and saying, "What is going on with the Republican Party? We should be fighting the Democrats. They're the one destroying this country."
this is what's happened for the last 20 years, 22 years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We've been fighting amongst ourselves that we can't, you know, we can't seem to pull it together. We're either lacking good leadership, which I think is a lot of the problem.
Right.
We don't know how to organize in the way that the Democrats have been able to organize. We don't know how to get our grassroots people up. We don't, you know, what happened to the Tea Party? They just kind of blew them off, like they, you know, they didn't amount to much. You know, they had a good movement, but they didn't get the support of the mainstream Republican Party, and they just kind of fizzled. You know.
Well, they kind of got taken over by the MAGA coalition.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Charles,
another...
your thought?
Well, I think I have to agree with Lloyd. There's just way too much infighting going on in the Republican Party, you know, and conservatives. But we're not. Let's see. We're sort of. I hate to use the word programmed. We tend to believe that justice comes from above.
Right.
That's why we don't go. You know, why we don't do a lot of stuff ourselves when maybe we should. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. We're looking for a higher power to step in and make things right. And that's what sort of, you know, causes issues for us, I think.
Yeah, you're right. This turn the other cheek. You know, how many cheeks you going to turn? You know, you only got 4 of them that you can turn, and after a while, it's time to. I mean, I always tell people, and I always think about it going back to, hey, Jesus threw people out of the temple. You know, he lost his temper and threw the money changers out, and he got rid of them. You know, he threw. You know, he, and if he understands the need that sometimes you have to step up the plate, it's time for the Republicans. And right now, our religion has become so diluted with progressiveness in so many of the mainstream religions that, you know, we're losing that too. I mean, it's just so if our religion has become diluted and the message has been muddied, how can we sit around and wait for that higher power to make to create the justice? They can't. So we got to get back to our roots of fundamentalism or of conservatism, and the fundamentalist point of you know, and I've said this for years. You know, if we ever had to fight a religious war, which one would we fight? Would it be the Pentecostals or the Baptists? Would it be the Catholics or the Presbyterians? You know, or the Lutherans or the
Methodist, or
Methodists? Yeah,
Or
exactly.
don't forget the Crystal Methodists.
Ronnie's got a good
Thanks
point.
for leading me on that one, Charles.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah.
you guys are right, and what we need to do is, this is my belief: party trumps person, because the locus of power is really in Congress, because they control the budget, and if we get more of our guys in than their guys, then we control the committee assignments. We get to control the agenda. If we're all over the place fighting each other, the Democrats are probably sitting back saying, "Hold my beer."
Yeah,
You know?
I said in 2020 it was our election to lose, and we did it fantastically. And 2022, same thing. We just barely came out of that one ahead, and it's because we gotta put forth. And the other thing is, we got to start putting forth some candidates that will unite, as Ronnie said there. God bless America. We got to become united, you know. And he's right. The longer we sit around, you know, pointing fingers, you know, I honestly think that even though they said it's going to be Wednesday before they vote, I think we're going to see something tomorrow, simply because of the situation in the Middle East.
Tomorrow's a holiday.
What the hell holiday is it? Veterans Day?
Columbus Day.
Columbus Day.
Yep. No mail.
Oh, I forgot about.
No bank.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. Well, that's okay. Maybe that makes. That's why people are okay. I didn't realize it's a holiday. You know.
Come on, Lloyd. Get with the program.
I don't look at a calendar anymore. I mean, it's Columbus Day. You got to remember, I live in the Indian Territory.
Are you on the Gregorian calendar or the Julian calendar?
Probably no. I live in Indian Territory. It's not widely celebrated here for obvious reasons. Oh. I got to take this. It's my wife. I'll be right back.
Another explorer that we're going to be celebrating tomorrow?
No.
That would be the Leaf Erikson.
Oh.
The guy who really discovered North America, the Viking. Yep. So those two holidays are actually overlapping this year.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's
Tomorrow's
what's going on there.
There's place is going to be open, so.
We got Mika Steve. I saw Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk, and Rob Supreme. Welcome. And we got Jody Drone Shot. And the Drone Guy 42. All right, we got a good crowd today. The Democrats, even though they've got different factions, they seem to stick together. Where Republican Party got, different factions. Mostly the Freedom Caucus or the MAGA people against the moderate Republicans. And what bugs me is why these people can't figure it out. Hey, maybe if we got together and kind of, we need to have more R's and D's in Congress, like I said earlier. And they don't get that. They just say they're almost like libertarians, where they want 100% of what they want, rather than, having 80 or 90% of what they want. It's it just doesn't work that way. And I mean, you could go all the way
Well,
back to the '60s, where you got the Rockefeller Republicans against the Goldwater Republicans, and but back then the Democrats, excuse me, had super majority in both houses, so Republicans really didn't have a whole lot of control, and that's how a lot of the welfare program got passed. So that's why it wasn't until 1994, the first time in 40 years, Republicans had a majority in the House.
now is that when Clinton was in office? Because I remember that. I remember
Yes.
he was trying to do welfare reform.
Well, no, actually, it was forced on him. He
Well, that's kind of
rejected
sort of
it.
what I was alluding to. Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
didn't really have much of a choice.
Right. Hello, Dominic. Good to see you. And yeah, so when Newt Gingrich became Speaker, his agenda was welfare reform, and we got it through. And guess what happened? We got more people working after that. And it wasn't until Obama came in and he undid all of that. So now we're back to square one, and I'm just worried that if Trump ends up being the president, the country is going to be so divided. I mean, the Democrats are going to be,
Yeah. If you thought they were howling after the first election,
right.
the first time Trump was elected,
Mm-hmm. They're going to be, they'll figure out something else he did and try to impeach him. We got droning with Jamie. Good to see you.
hey Jamie,
Or is it Jaime?
I think it's Jamie.
Jamie. So
Pretty sure I've
that
heard him
is
say his
what's
own name
going on.
It's Jamie.
Yep.
Well,
So yeah. Anyway, dead air there.
yeah.
Let's.
Yeah. Is there anything really more to say about the deposing of Kevin McCarthy?
Not a whole lot. I was talking to Lloyd before the show that I think it's going to come down to two people that they'll choose. It'll be Jim Jordan, who's head of the Freedom Coalition, and then you got Steve Scalise, and he's battling cancer right now, so it might be too much on his plate for that. But and don't forget, he was the one that had the assassination attempt on him after Trump.
That was the. Oh, that's not the one on the baseball field.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
It seemed like the thing that happened on the baseball field happened before Trump got in office.
No, that was after he got elected. You're right, Ronnie, and that because Matt Gaetz, he's part of that Freedom Coalition, and there was some disagreements because McCarthy made some promises that he couldn't or wouldn't keep because he had to, kind of get the Democrats to agree with some of our agenda to get bills passed. Hey, Kai, good to see you. Welcome,
Kai.
welcome. And here in Colorado, we had an interesting thing that happened. Lauren Boebert, who's part of the Freedom Coalition, voted to keep McCarthy. Where Ken Buck, also part of I think he's part of the Freedom Coalition, voted against. Where not too long ago said on the radio that he was going to vote to keep McCarthy if it came down to it. So I think what happened with Buck, I think he was promised something in return for a no vote because maybe he had some bills that he wanted passed, or maybe he wanted a committee assignment. Where Lauren Boebert, she narrowly won her last election, even though she's in a solid red district. And plus, you had that debacle at that
Movie
theater, that play, the Beetlejuice. So you got that, and I don't know how Doug Lamborn, he's the other Republican from Colorado. He's in a safe district, but however, his district is changing and it's slipping left because he's got Colorado Springs, and Colorado Springs just elected their first liberal mayor in 40 years. So we'll see how that all falls out. So
I'm just
that's
like,
what's going on here in Colorado. I imagine your neck of the woods. Do you know who voted for who in your state?
No.
So you don't really keep an eye on state your congressional leaders there in New York.
Well, I mean, they're all Democrats. With the exception, I mean, it's Chuck Schumer
from New York.
Well, he's not my direct representative.
Right.
My direct representatives are Chuck Schumer, and her name's right on the tip of my tongue. I got an email from her the other day.
Yeah, Schumer's senator.
Right.
And
oh, bloody hell! All I can remember, I cannot remember her name right off the top of my head. The only thing I can remember is that she's blonde.
Well, my rep is Brittany Pedersen, who took over for Ed. Oh God. Oh yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Now my rep is Elise Stefanik.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she's a Republican. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Brittany Pedersen took over for Perlmutter. That's who it was. Ed Perlmutter. Yeah. I have to remember. I used to call him Squirrel Butter, but Ed Perlmutter decided not to run because the polling looked like it was a close race for Democrats, and Brittany Pedersen won by a good margin, not a huge margin. I think she was ahead by 3 or 4 points. So, and she's a former state rep here in my neck of the woods who voted for making fentanyl a misdemeanor. instead of a felony. So that's why we had a really bad problem with fentanyl here in Colorado. Now the Democrat-controlled legislature decided to reverse the rule and made it a felony, but they made it to where you had to it had to be a big amount of fentanyl to make it a felony instead of just like just a couple grams will kill you.
Yeah.
That's how powerful this stuff is. And these
probably kill you and your next door
drug
neighbors.
dealers, yeah, they're putting it in heroin, they're putting in cocaine, and that's why we're having these overdose deaths. People buying cocaine and not realizing it was cut with this crap, and they're dying.
Kirsten Gillibrand is the other.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. She's the one that took Hillary's seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of Hillary, she made a statement a few days ago that MAGA people or MAGA followers need to be deprogrammed. Now, that ranks right up there with her deplorable statement.
I know.
That just it sounds so Stalinist,
Oh yeah.
It just floors me that a Democrat would say something like that. But nowadays, it doesn't surprise me. But no, Mark, that would be methadone. Methadone is used to wean people off heroin. Fentanyl is much more powerful than
fentanyl is
heroin.
it's actually used when it's used properly as for anesthesia for major surgery.
Right.
Now, wasn't that the stuff that took down Michael Jackson?
No, that was propofol. Propofol with
something else.
Yeah. Yeah, he called it milk because it has a milky look to it. And he was fed intravenously, through an IV.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's what fentanyl was used heart surgery. Major surgery.
Yeah, properly.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, really, Hillary was going to expect round up all these MAGA people and put them in camps and have them deprogrammed like the what was that? The Cultural Revolution in China.
Yeah.
Where.
Well, I don't think they deprogrammed you in China. I thought they just killed you.
Yeah.
They were calling it the elimination of the olds, meaning
right.
Old ways of thinking, old ways of doing, who were all old people.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Ronnie, good point. Yep. Me, I've had 10 surgeries on each leg. And so I've developed a tolerance for opioids. So fortunately for me, I get, I don't get hooked on opioids. If I have a really bad pain that's just really bugging me, then either hydrocodone or OxyContin, and I don't abuse that shit. I just take it until the pain goes away, and if I feel good next day, I'm done. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. We got Marcel off Axis. Good to see
Hey,
you,
Marcel.
sir. All the way from Canada. So, so that's what Hillary said. How about you folks in the chat? What are your thoughts about Hillary's statement on deprogramming people who are so-called MAGA followers? What is wrong with MAGA? Make America great. I mean, what's wrong with that? Why is that such a bad word? What is this? Is the thing that gets me. You mean prosperity and having people, with their bellies full, so they're not starving. They got a roof over their head. I mean, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with taking care of your family? That's what's making America great again. Is ooh, that is racist, and it's like, shut up.
Yeah, I hate
You know, it. And it's like it's got to a point where everything you say is flipping racist. Really, you gotta be nuts. That's why I think schools are screwed up and the psychiatric, uh, psychiatrists or
Oh yeah.
psychiatry is really screwed up by not saying no, that is not normal thinking. You know, how did we get here? Which is my thought. You know, and it really goes at the feet of my generation. I'm a boomer. I was born in '60. Boomers are what 19 what 40 45 to 65. Somewhere in there.
I thought it was 63 because I thought I missed being a boomer just by 1 year.
Okay. Well, you're a boomer
Yeah.
on the cusp. So
I was like, well, I'm not a millennial, so
yeah. Whatever happened to the term yuppie? I mean, that used to be kind of the thing back in the '80s.
Well, just yuppie was stood for a young urban professional, and
that's right.
those I have. What would that? I would assume that with the damage that we've done to the middle class, that whole idea of how you're going to live your life kind of went away.
Right. Yeah. Well, Michael, you make a good point.
Yep. I can't dispute that.
So, also we got in the news a big event that happened yesterday, sadly, also our fault. Israel's been attacked by Hamas and Hezbollah.
Well, I don't know about Hezbollah, but I know Hamas was definitely behind it.
Right. Oh, okay, Mark. Yep. You are a boomer. And now, Lloyd filled me in before the show that most of the weapons they got were where did they get the? Oh yeah, Afghanistan. That we left billions of dollars worth of weapons in Afghanistan. So those guys just said, "Oh, we got all these weapons. You want these weapons? Okay, you can have them. Just give us gold and some I don't know, something to feed our people." Yeah. Oh, or that's racist. Why are you talking like that?
And then, of course, there's that $6 billion that we gave to Iran.
Right. That's
That's
true. And
I'm sure it's
didn't
getting
we
flushed
lift
right
this?
into Hamas.
Yeah, and didn't we lift the sanctions when Biden took over?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? And you know who we could really lay this at the feet of is Jimmy Carter for not supporting the democratically uh, elected uh, uh, government after the Shah was ousted. No, you know, because Jimmy Carter he's such a Christian. Well, these are religious people. They believe in peace and they're peaceful people. And it's like you dumb God.
Peanut farm.
And so here it is, 40 plus years, and we're still dealing with crap from Jimmy Carter. Yep. That's right. He is 99 years old, and sadly, he's in a hospice right now. He's still clinging on, but yep. And this is my opinion. I thought the dumbest thing Israel ever did was giving Palestinians and the people the Gaza and what the West Bank, Jerusalem. I thought that was the dumbest thing. It's like, what do you think was going to happen when you let those people take? They weren't. Yeah, they had an election. It was called one vote, one time, and now they've got a dictatorship that controls the the Palestinian, which is really not a people because there's really you could go back. There's not a Palestinian language. That was all made up at the start of the Cold War as soon as Israel became a nation. And there were this group of people that got, they were refugees from when Israel was formed. And nobody wanted them. Did Jordan want? No. Syria want? No, we don't. Egypt want? Nobody wanted them, and so those people were refugees living in camps uh, outside of Israel, and they're the ones that demanding uh, land for peace. And what did Arafat do? Every time we got so close to giving him what he wanted, he backed out. Yep. So that's what's going on there. I don't know the particulars of what's going on in Israel. Charles, can you fill me in on what's going on?
The only thing I know is that supposedly they're going to cut off power to the Gaza Strip. Cut off electrical power to the Gaza Strip.
Okay, so most of the attacks are coming from Gaza?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. And I was kind of wondering, because I remember that several years ago, there were attacks being made on Israel, and they had, the Iron Dome, and it was very effective. You could see like 5 missiles coming in, and a bunch of other ones, just taking them all out. So I don't know unless they fired so many rockets and missiles that the Iron Dome was just overwhelmed.
Yeah. And don't forget, they're probably doing what the Ukrainians are doing. They're using drones.
Well, for reconnaissance, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to have to cut out of here. Judy's having some issues, and I need to be with her right now. She's having
Okay.
it's the
All right.
effects of her stroke is causing
Understand.
some problems. So just going to be one of them weeks, you know. So
Yep.
Okay.
anyways, bye to everybody. I'll talk to y'all
All right,
later.
take care,
Thanks for having
man.
me on.
Take care,
We're
Lloyd.
praying for you.
Okay.
Yep.
And
All right.
Judy.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. Ah, sad, man.
Well, it's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
Godspeed there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's, yep. 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 And from what I'm hearing, are these are the terrorists going around just like death squads going into civilian areas and
I don't know. I heard there were some kidnappings, but I'm not sure. The big deal seemed to be this, these rocket barrages, which have killed 300 people so far.
wow. Mm-hmm. So I don't know those Israelis they must have a genetic thing that keeps them from snapping and saying screw it, let's stop this. We gotta stop this madness. That's what I would do. Go in, take the Gaza, and say, hey, we're at a war. We're declaring war on that group, and we don't give a crap if everybody. Oh, the big country taking over. These peaceful people. No, these people attack a sovereign nation. And you know what? They need to take back that land and kick those people out and say, you know what? Screw you folks. You guys voted to put these people in power. And we don't hate you. We just hate the people that you elected. So we're not going to deal with this. We're going to throw you out. And you know what? We're going to turn this area back into a productive area that grows fruit with greenhouses, which they destroyed after they took over. They could have been used those greenhouses to grow produce to sell to sustain their government. Nope, they didn't want to do that. It's like I am at my wits' end about this stuff. I just don't know how Israel could just they're probably close to their wits' end about it, and we all know they've got nukes, but I think that is their last resort if they know that they're going to be wiped out.
Yeah.
They have what's called I don't know if you know this. They have what's called the Samson Protocol. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
All right. If Israel is attacked and they know that they're not going to survive, Israel is going to send nukes to several major capitals around the region. One of them is going to be Moscow, and it's going to be it may even France may even get some. There's going to be several European cities that are going to be gone because they've gone leftist and they've been against Israel for decades, and you're going to see several major cities in the Middle East disappear because they've got anywhere from 100 to 500 nukes. And
Wow.
they've got a Navy that we know, and they have nuclear tipped missiles and torpedoes. So if Israel knows that they're going to be gone, that's what's going to happen. That's going to be their trump card, so to speak. That's going to say, "Oh, you're going to take us out? All right, give us your best shot, because uh, you're, I'm going to
Going to
quote
regret it.
from a Deep Space Nine uh, uh, metaphor when the Dominion was defeated, on the steps of being defeated. They said that your uh, victory will be as bitter as our defeat.
Yeah,
Or
a
some,
Pyrrhic victory.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, so 260 killed a music festival. Mm, that's something.
Wow.
Mm. Yep, you are right, and you know, even back at the beginning of this country, when our sailors were being kidnapped, remember the Barbary pirates?
Yep. Yep.
We had an issue with those people, and uh, Thomas Jefferson sent a fleet over there, and you asked him, why are you attacking us? We've done nothing to you people. And he goes, well, you're infidel, and our duty is to convert you or kill you. So that's why we did what we did to defeat the pirates, and that was the beginning of our navy. As small as it was, we were able to uh, defeat a belligerent group, and sort of cool things down in the Mediterranean area. Andrew's saying we're trying to confirm there are Americans killed. Yep. Well, you know what's going to happen, Andrew? Nothing. Because this president is so, he doesn't
Yeah, the
care.
leftists are so anti. Yeah, it's funny because the leftists are so anti-Israel, but yet
Mm-hmm.
CNN was one of the ones that was sort of condemning this. I was really surprised to see them, talking about it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And in the early days of Islam, they were a pretty advanced society. They had uh, very good knowledge of navigation and
Yep.
technology. And then by the 12th century, there was a faction. One faction was, you know, science oriented, and the other faction believed that no, it's God's will. And they were the ones that wiped out the intellectuals, so to speak, in their religion. And that's why, you know, their technology really slowed down. It wasn't until the latter half of the 19th century, when the Ottoman Empire started uh, getting weapons from where? Oh, Germany. Yes, that's why you have Mauser rifles ending up in the Ottoman Empire, because the Germans made a really good rifle,
Yeah.
accurate bolt action rifle, and it works every time. So Germany had they had the rights, or they made it so that nations around the globe can make uh, their rifles
Well, they sold a license.
in their country. They just had to pay the rights, I guess, to
Yeah, a
Germany.
license fee probably. Yeah.
License fee, yeah. Like, well, you got the Argentine Mauser, you got the Chilean Mauser, you got even the Mexicans made Mauser, and you got Persian Mausers, and you even have Siam Mausers, which is now called Thailand. So you got Yugoslavs, and yeah, they made a really good product, and everybody, you know, was making them. And yep, you're right, Andrew. And you know who makes the most prolific bolt action rifles? That would be the Mosin Nagant out of Russia. They made so many of those because of World War II. They made hundreds of millions of them. That's why they're so damn cheap at the gun show. And they licensed them to Finland. So, and they're the ones that are the most sought after. You're wondering, oh, why do you know this? I'm a gun aficionado. I used to
Cool.
really be into guns back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I actually built a hunting rifle, which sadly I had to sell because I needed the money. I made a 6 millimeter Remington on a Mauser Type 98 action. And the other good rifle was the Springfield bolt action, which was another really good bolt action rifle. And by World War II, that all changed when we came out with the Garand, which was a 30-06 semi-automatic rifle. So, what are you drinking? A cream soda in there?
Nope. Seltzer.
Oh, seltzer. Okay, polar
Well,
seltzer.
actually, they're called. What do they call it? It's strawberry lemonade.
Ooh, ooh, that sounds
Pretty good.
yummy. Ah, good, good, good. Yep,
I'm, I'm
that's
afraid
right.
I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of guns like you do.
Well, if you want a real accurate sniper rifle, we got one that is a 50 caliber,
Jeez.
and yeah, and it's a bolt single shot bolt action rifle, and you could be 2 miles away and take down a an enemy in one shot. That's how
I think I've
accurate.
seen that on like MythBusters.
Yep,
Whenever they want to, fire a 50 caliber projectile into something.
right. hmm So if you remember, oh God, who was that? They made a movie about this guy who he passed away. Uh, American Sniper, I think, was the name of the movie, and or
Yeah,
yeah. So
I don't
few
remember his
more
name,
seconds.
but I know I don't remember his name, but I know
Yeah,
who you're talking about. And
right.
wasn't it?
Let me
They
do a
did a movie
quick
about who played them.
Google.
Was that? Oh, he was the lead actor in. Oh crap! I can see his face clear as day, and I know his movies, but I can't. I'm
Chris
totally
Kyle.
blank. Yeah, that's not the actor's name.
No, that's the actor portrayed him. Written by Clint Eastwood and Jason Hall, autobiographer of Chris Kyle and Scott McEwen and Jim DeFelice. Okay, who became the deadliest marksman. Okay, and that came out. That movie came out in 2012.
Bradley Cooper.
Yep. Bradley Cooper.
him.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Finally got to the IMDb page.
Alrighty, well, we managed to do a little over an hour with most of us here on the panel. We'll be having Judy and Lloyd in our prayers, and we wish for a speedy recovery. And God bless you guys, and thanks for being here for as long as you could, Lloyd. We'll be thinking of you guys. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming. Hopefully, this was informative and hopefully a little bit educational or entertaining. Have a great week and God bless. Catch you all next week. Bye bye.